Imagine this. You're at a party, and there's one person in the room who doesn't say much, doesn't try to impress anyone, but somehow everyone's drawn to them. What's their secret? It's not their looks, their money, or even their charm. It's something deeper, something ancient. And here's the harsh truth. 95.7% of women are irresistibly attracted to this one thing. But here's the catch. It's not what you think. Stick around, because this one principle could change how you see yourself, your relationships, and your life forever. Let's get real for a second. Most of us spend our lives chasing approval. We want to be liked, loved, and admired. We try to say the right things, wear the right clothes, and act the right way. But what if I told you that the key to being truly irresistible isn't about trying at all? In fact, it's about letting go. This isn't some pickup artist trick or a dating hack. This is Stoicism, a philosophy that's been around for over 2,000 years. And today, we're diving into one of its most powerful lessons. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this harsh truth makes you irresistible to almost everyone you meet, especially women. Here's the problem. We live in a world that's obsessed with validation. Social media, dating apps, even our careers, they all feed into this idea that we need to prove our worth. But here's the thing. The more you chase approval, the less attractive you become. Why? Because desperation is obvious. It shows up in your body language, your tone of voice, even the way you hold a conversation. And let's be honest, no one finds that appealing. So, how do you break free from this cycle? How do you become the kind of person who doesn't need validation but still gets it effortlessly? That's where Stoicism comes in. Part 1. The Stoic Mindset. Stoicism teaches us that our worth isn't determined by external validation. It's about understanding what's within our control and what's not. Think about it. You can't control how someone feels about you. You can't control whether they like you, love you, or even notice you. But what you can control is how you see yourself. And that's where the magic happens. When you stop seeking approval, you start radiating confidence, not the fake kind, but the real, unshakable kind that comes from within. Part 2. The Power of Detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care more about your own values than someone else's opinion. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're on a date and you're trying to impress her. You're nervous, overthinking every word, and it shows. Now imagine the opposite. You're calm, present, and completely yourself. Which version of you is more attractive? Exactly. Detachment isn't about being cold. It's about being so secure in yourself that you don't need anyone else to validate you. Part 3. The Harsh Truth. Here's the harsh truth. Most people are afraid to be themselves. They're so worried about being judged that they hide their true selves. But here's the thing. Women and people in general can sense that fear, and it's a turn-off. What's irresistible is someone who's unapologetically themselves, someone who doesn't need to prove anything. That's the kind of person people are drawn to. And the good news, you already are that person. You just have to let go of the need for approval. Part 4. Real-life stories. Let me tell you a story about Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics in history. He was the emperor of Rome, but he didn't let that power go to his head. Instead, he focused on his own character. He wrote in his journal every night, reflecting on how he could be a better person, not for anyone else, but for himself. And guess what? People respected him not because of his title, but because of his integrity. That's the kind of energy that's irresistible. Part 5. Practical steps. So, how do you apply this in your own life? Start small. The next time you're in a social situation, focus on being present instead of trying to impress. Listen more than you speak. And most importantly, remind yourself that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's opinion. It's a practice, and it takes time, but the results are worth it. Part 6. The role of self-discipline. Self-discipline is a cornerstone of Stoicism, and it plays a huge role in making you irresistible. Why? Because self-discipline shows that you're in control of your own life. You're not swayed by every impulse or emotion. Think about it. When someone is disciplined, they exude a sense of stability and reliability. That's incredibly attractive. It's not about being rigid or boring, it's about having the strength to stay true to your values, even when it's hard. And that kind of strength is magnetic. Part 7. The art of non-reactivity. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is learning to be non-reactive. This doesn't mean you don't feel emotions, it means you don't let them control you. For example, if someone criticizes you, instead of getting defensive or upset, you pause. You ask yourself, is this true? Does it matter? This kind of calm, thoughtful response is rare, and it makes you stand out. People are drawn to those who can handle pressure with grace. It shows that you're not easily shaken, and that's a trait that's hard to ignore. Part 8. The long-term impact. Finally, let's talk about the long-term impact of living like this. When you stop seeking validation and start living by Stoic principles, something amazing happens. You attract people who value you for who you truly are. These are the kind of relationships that last, not because you're trying to impress, but because there's genuine respect and connection. And that's the ultimate goal, isn't it? To be loved and appreciated for being yourself, not for putting on a show. Here's the moment of truth. You don't need to change who you are to be irresistible. You just need to embrace who you already are. When you stop seeking validation, you become magnetic. People notice, women notice, and it's not because you're trying, it's because you're not. That's the power of Stoicism. That's the power of you. To sum it up, the key to being irresistible isn't about what you do. It's about what you don't do. Don't chase approval. Don't hide who you are. And don't let anyone else define your worth. When you live by these principles, you become the kind of person people can't help but admire. It's not easy, but it's simple, and it starts with you. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. There's a lot more where this came from, and I'd love to have you along for the journey.